Welcome to a place where healing happens, where real conversations begin. About life, about love, about faith and becoming again.
Have you ever gotten to a point where you just feel like, I don't have it in me anymore? Like, have you ever gotten to that point? Now, you being in that point, it's not because life ended, not because something dramatic happened, but because you've been carrying too much for too long. And you can feel yourself slowing down on the inside. You're still functioning. You're still showing up when you need to. You're still replying messages. You're still doing what you're supposed to do. But internally, something feels heavy. Something feels tired. Something feels like it's no longer responding the way it used to. And the hardest part is you can't always explain it properly. But because nothing big happened, it's just life. Over time, adding weight quietly. Disappointment you didn't fully process. Pressure you kept pushing through. Expectations you didn't voice. Moments where you had to be strong even when you didn't want to be. And all of that doesn't just disappear. Let's talk about even the heartbreaks you didn't process. See, they build until one day you feel it. That quiet moment where you literally just realize, I can't keep going like this. Welcome to Real Talk Naomi podcast, a space for honest conversations about life, faith, and everything in between, but through God's lens. And today, we are talking about what it means to reach a point where you don't have the capacity to show up anymore, and what God does with you in that season. And if we're being honest, that place can feel confusing. It can. Because most of us were taught that strength means always showing up, always pushing through, always being available, always being okay. So when you get to a point where you can't show up the way you used to, the first thing you think is something is wrong with me. You start questioning yourself. You start asking yourself, why am I like this? Why can't I just push through? Why does everything feel like too much right now? But what if nothing is wrong with you? What if you're just tired in a way that nobody can see? Because there is a kind of exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix. It's not physical, it's usually internal. It's emotional exhaustion, mental fatigue, quiet burnout. You just tell yourself, oh, I am exhausted. You are exhausted emotionally. It is when your system has been carrying too many things for far too long without release. And it doesn't always show up in dramatic ways. That's the funniest thing. It doesn't show up in dramatic ways. Sometimes it shows up quietly. You stop feeling excited about things you used to enjoy. You withdraw a little. You reply messages slower. You avoid anything that requires emotional energy. Even small things start to feel heavy. And then guilt comes in like a thief in the night. Because now you're thinking, other people are handling life. Why can't I handle life the same way these people are handling life? Maybe the real question is not why can't you handle it? Maybe it's why have you been expected to handle so much without purse? One time I was trying to know the meaning of some of the words in the Bible that we just come across, like Selah. And Selah means to pause. So the real question is, why have you been expected to handle so much without pause? Even Bible acknowledges that there is a time where you should actually pause. Because even strong people, they get tired. Faithful people get tired. Responsible people get tired. Not because they are weak, but because they are human. And it is blood that flows through their veins. And one of the hardest parts is that people don't always see it. They don't. On the outside, you still look fine. So they assume you're fine. But inside, you know you're not fully there. That disconnect can feel really lonely. Why? Because you are living in two versions of yourself at once. The version people interact with and the version that is quietly struggling. And in that place, it is easy to try and force yourself back to who you used to be. To push, to perform, to snap out of it. By forcing yourself through exhaustion without exhaustion that doesn't even heal. Before I go forward, let me say this. Exhaustion doesn't heal exhaustion. It only delays it. So maybe instead of forcing forcing the whole thing, the first step is honesty. Just acknowledging that you are tired. Acknowledge it. And you acknowledging that you're tired is not failure. That's not laziness that people might want to make you feel or think it is. It is not. It's not weakness to acknowledge that you're tired. It is awareness. The English people will tell you self-awareness. Because truth is, you were never even designed to carry everything endlessly without purse. You were not. And if we bring God into this, one of the most comforting truths is that God is not intimidated by your tiredness. He is not. He doesn't only meet you when you are strong. I think that's where a lot of people get it wrong. They feel like God meets them only when they are strong. No. God is not your boss. Like, God is not your boss at work. He's not your manager. He's not your HR. He meets you when you are empty too. You cannot be coming to God all maxed up. You don't do that. When you don't have the words, when you are overwhelmed, when you are just trying to make it through the day, you don't have to fix yourself before coming to Him. And that is the most beautiful thing about the fatherhood of God. You don't have to fix yourself. He is the fixer. He's going to fix you. So the best thing to do is you go to Him just the way you are. Because sometimes the most honest prayer is simply, God, I am tired. I need help. Please fix me. And that is enough. Because God is not measuring how polished your faith sounds. He's meeting you in your honesty. He is. And I also want to say this. You don't always have to rush out of this season. Maybe sometimes all God wants you to do is stay and not you rushing out. There is so much pressure to bounce back quickly, to act like everything is fine, to recover fast. But healing doesn't respond to pressure. You can't rush restoration. You can only walk through it. You can only walk through it slowly, honestly, without pretending. And sometimes what feels like slowing down is actually God protecting you from further burnouts. God helping you finally notice yourself again. Because if you never recognize your limits, you keep exceeding them. And if you keep exceeding them, you will keep breaking down. And if you keep breaking down, you think something is wrong with you, when really you just needed rest. And please, rest is not laziness. Rest is wisdom. So if you are in a season where you don't have the capacity to show up like before, I want you to remove the shame from it. I've been in a season where I didn't have the capacity to show up. Yes, there was a time I had to beat myself down, but I looked at it and I was just like, maybe it's just me being tired. And there's really no shame in it. Remove the shame from it. You're not broken. You're not failing. You are not behind in life. You are just human. You are human. You're not a stone. And even here, you are still held. Even here, you are still seen. Even here, in this season, God is still with you. Maybe the goal right now is not to go back to who you were. Okay? But to become someone who no longer abandons themselves just to keep up. Do you understand? Someone who knows when to pause, someone who knows when to rest, someone who knows when to breathe, someone who knows when to breathe. And if that's where you are right now, it's totally okay. I remember seeing one Korean service and the title was, "It's okay not to be okay." So if this is where you are right now, it's okay. You're still becoming. And you are not doing it alone. My plans for today was even not for a long episode or something to be so long at it. I just felt like pushing this out there. Before I end this episode, just pause for a moment and let this sink in. Listen, you are allowed to be tired. You are allowed to slow down. And you are allowed to not have it all together. Because sometimes some people tell you, oh, they look like they've got it. I can tell you for free that they don't got it. They don't got nothing. You don't need to explain it to deserve rest. You don't. And if this episode spoke to you today, I hope you give yourself permission to breathe a little easier. I really hope you do. I hope you give yourself grace. I hope you permit yourself to breathe. This is Real Talk Naomi podcast, and I'll talk to you in the next episode. Bye for now, and know that I love you. Bye.
Time